What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Got episode number 11 of our Cincinnati Reds franchise. And as you guys can see, I did end up simulating a lot of these games here. The Minnesota game was the last game you guys saw. Homer Bailey took the mound. He's actually 1-5 now. So he did end up getting a win. That's probably due to him being in the bullpen now. So I did push him out of the starting rotation into the bullpen because even though we pitched really well here against the Twins and Jake Odorizzi, these last couple starts here for the Reds, pitching staff and Homer Bailey in general have not been very good. So you guys can see that DeSclafani has slipped a little bit with now a 4.02 ERA, 1-4. Peralta, another bullpen loss. Homer Bailey gets the loss here against Wei-Ying Chen. Gave up 5 earned runs in 4 innings in this game, so that's obviously not going to cut it. Amir Garrett is struggling with a 6.34. Sal Romano is now struggling with a 7.8, so it's just not getting any better. Luis Castillo, though, remains the one bright spot in this rotation as he took on Noah Syndergaard and Rich Hill and won both games, guys. So that 2.23, 60 Ks with 64 innings, just a little bit under a strikeout per inning is very, very, very good. So he's pitching well. Bullpen is still not getting it done, guys. And this game here against the Dodgers, 13 runs, and Sal Romano gave up 10 earned in an inning and a third. I mean, that's not good. And then Homer Bailey came on and gave up the other 3 runs in that game. So as you guys can see, it's not looking good, guys. And you can see Bailey picked up the win. I think that was in relief though. And then Sal Romano gets the win here against the Giants. 9-4 was the victory. So we're sitting at 20-25. Brian Price was fired in real life, and I kind of want to follow that same storyline just to keep it as real as I can. Granted, the Reds in real life only have 3 wins still. They are still in single digits in wins, which is obviously not good. But you guys were pretty much Johnny on the spot here in the comment section. You guys were calling that they were pretenders and not contenders for this franchise series, and you guys are pretty much right on target here. 20-25, 5-5 in our last 10. So we're kind of holding our own a little bit. I want to let you guys know that I will end up doing some more simulating rather than just playing it very, very slow and just doing gameplay. As you guys can see, we're already in the middle, it's probably second half of May now. So we're pretty much a month past where we are in real life. Real life, let's see, today is the 22nd, April 22nd. So they're still playing the Cardinals, and then they go to Atlanta, who just won on a walk-off bunt by Ender Inciarte. But we swept this series against Atlanta, so that's pretty good, guys. But yeah, so the direction I want to take this franchise series, and you guys, there's been comments in the comment section, but just know that it's been in the back of my mind to get this thing moving a little faster, simply because I think that this Reds reconstruction is probably going to take 3 or 4 seasons to complete. So I want to get done with year number 1 probably pretty soon here, so we can just dive right into the offseason, the draft, and free agent signings, and then kick it off in year number 2 and see what the roster looks like. So I'm always big on the transactional side of things, and I think that that's a very fun part of franchise, and I want to bring that to you guys. So I'm pretty excited about it. But what I'm going to do in this one is, as always, I always like to show gameplay, but the reason why I was playing a lot of these games in April is I wanted to get a feel, and I wanted you guys to get a feel of the players that we had and how they were performing for us. So now that we kind of have an idea of what's going on and what they can do in game, we can also look at their stats here and know, hey, this guy's producing for us, and some guys are just not. Scooter Gennett, 247. It's not bad, but it is what it is. 200 average for Adam Duvall. That's definitely not going to cut it. So a guy like Adam Duvall might be on the trading block. Jose Peraza as well. Even though I'm kind of growing a liking to him a little bit now because I noticed that his age is 23 and the contact numbers are pretty good. Only hitting 244, so it's not terrible. Nick Senzel, 246 right now with 5 homers, 10 ribs. That's pretty good as well. 69 overall. He's getting better. Plus everywhere you go. So he's getting some good playing time, making it worth it. So that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you guys in this episode before we get into this Colorado series. Yes, we're going to go to Coors Field, and hopefully the bats come alive out there. But yeah, so just know that I will be doing a lot more simulating, but the reason why this has been going slower is because I wanted you guys to get a feel for what the players are doing, and so we can better get an idea of who we want to keep, what's the roster's looking like long term, who's in our plans, blah, 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 blah. So let's simulate up here until the Colorado series, and we'll get right into the gameplay. All right, so another loss for Quackenbush. He's 0-5 now. We're 22-29, not too bad. Crockett with a loss. His ERA is kind of going up a little bit. Wandy Peralta gets the W. Interesting. And then Brandon Finnegan gets the loss as well. So he's actually now in the starting rotation, but I think his ERA is going down, which is a good sign. I want to see his numbers real quick. 5 innings with 3 earned, 9 strikeouts against the Chicago Cubs. Nice, Brandon Finnegan. And then Homer Bailey gets in there for an inning and only gives up 1 hit, has a strikeout, none earned. That's good. Maybe we can keep Homer Bailey. You guys are really talking about moving him and trading him, but maybe we can keep Homer Bailey and he can help us out in the bullpen. We'll get into some scouting after the gameplay, but yeah, I'm still talking. That's why I went to that screen. So guys, let's go ahead and go into Colorado. We got Luis Castillo against Jon Gray. All right, guys, let's get right into this gameplay here. We got Luis Castillo against Jon Gray, 22-29. Reds against the 22-28 Colorado Rockies. So some pretty even teams here in this one, and I'd kind of like to think that we've got the advantage here because Jon Gray is having by far a worse off season than Luis Castillo is. Yes, I know the 317 is not a bad number for Jon Gray, and neither is his whip, but in Colorado I like Luis Castillo more so than Jon Gray, just based on the velocity and the movement that Castillo has shown in this season, and he's pitching really, really well. So you guys can see the offensive numbers there for the Reds. Billy Hamilton really struggling, guys. He was hitting about 340 in the first month, and now he's down to 260. So the hot streak has pretty much ended, so we're going to try to look to get him back going a little bit. But Scooter Gennett going to strike out here. He's actually been bumping his average up. So while our number 1 guy is struggling, our number 2 guy is kind of picking him up here. And then Joey Votto is having a pretty solid season. He's having Joey Votto-esque type of season with a 292 right now. So he's going to swing and miss here, and then he's going to get another low pitch that he's going to send into the dirt to DJ LeMahieu. And that is my alarm, guys, to just tell me that the NFL draft is underway. So I'm actually looking at that on my phone right now while I'm talking about this game. Because I want to see who the Lions take, Plus, I want to see who goes number 1. Now the Browns do, but this is baseball, dang it. Let's keep it up here. So you guys saw Castillo's numbers. He's pitching extremely well this year with a 2-ish ERA. And then that single is going to put a man on first. That's DJ LeMahieu out there. Gerardo Parra is going to strike out. Now we got runners on first and second, and a fastball high and inside is going to strike out Nolan Arenado. Look at that nasty pitch, guys. He couldn't even handle it. Couldn't even touch it. Ground ball out there to Senzel. He's going to make a strong throw. Going to leave runners on base for the Rockies. So good job by Castillo and the Reds defense. Here's Schebler. He's going to strike out here, but runner on first is going to move up to second. And then the ball actually gets away, and then we decided not to end up taking third. Nick Senzel comes up on a 1-2 count, and he is going to send a hard hit fly ball out there to center field. Charlie Blackmon makes the play. So now let's go ahead and go to the bottom of the second inning where Trevor Story is going to swing and a miss on a pretty nasty change. And then now we got an 0-1 count here on Chris Iannetta, the Rockies catcher, who's actually, it's weird. It's really weird. Like MLB The Show always has its couple guys in the game that are just really hard to get out and for no apparent reason. One of those guys is Chris Iannetta. The guy just killed us in this game. I'll just say that. But look at Castillo. He strikes out Jon Gray, and he's celebrating. So I thought that was worthy of showcasing that. And here's Scooter Gennett here, who's going to send that fly ball out there to left field, and that's Parra, I believe. He tries to make a diving catch, and it's going to lead off the inning for the Reds with a stand-up triple for Scooter Gennett. Perfect scenario here for Joey Votto as he's coming up already with a runner in scoring position. All he needs is a fly ball, and this one's sent way out there to right field, and Joey Votto, guys, is going to hit a 2-run shot, putting the Reds up 2-0. Awesome. That's the top of the fourth inning, guys. So we actually skipped some innings, but it's about time that the Reds offense broke through here. 0-2 count now, and Schebler is going to get in on the hit party as he's going to send a fly ball line drive out there to center, and Blackmon's unable to make the play. Stand-up double for Scott Schebler. So we got another runner in scoring position here for a home run hitting threat in Adam Duvall, and Duvall is going to hit a 2-run shot. So now the Reds are up 4-0, guys. So this is good stuff. It's good stuff. I told you the bats would come alive here in Colorado. Now we got Tucker Barnhart. This is the same inning with 2 down, and he's going to send a ball into the corner, and he's going to get in with another stand-up double. So, guys, it's like we clear the bases with a home run, and then we get another runner on scoring position here. So pretty hilarious what's going on here right now. So now we got Luis Castillo up, and he is going to get on with a single, and Barnhart stays at third with the strong arm of Gerardo Parra, and then Billy Hamilton's going to knock him in with a RBI single. So, guys, it's 5 runs in this inning on Jon Gray, and now Scooter Gennett comes up, and he's going to ground out to Trevor Story, who flips it over there to DJ LeMahieu. So with a 5-run lead, Castillo is going to get in on some work here. He's going to strike out Arenado for the second strikeout for him on the game. That's Arenado I'm talking about. And then we got Carlos Gonzalez, who's striking out again. So that inning is effectively over. Let's go to the top of the 5th, and Joey Votto is going to lead this one off with a ringing double, who he's going to, he's on fire right now, guys, and that's going to push Jon Gray out of the rotation, out of the game here. And we got Kyle Freeland coming up, and he's really tough to hit, guys. He's got that funky, almost that Clayton Kershaw-esque. Look how he stops. Right when he gets ready to come to you, he stops. It's really hard to pick up, really hard to time, but he's going to throw a clean inning here for the Rockies, and then we're going to head over to the bottom of the 5th inning here, and Chris Iannetta, yet again. There you go, guys. That's what I'm talking about. He's just one of those guys. It's him and Adam Rosales seem to be guys that you just have a really hard time getting out. They like their guys for sure. So 5-1 here now, and then we go into the top of the 6th, and there's Nick Senzel getting in on the hit party. He's going to send a single past Trevor Story, who was diving for that baseball but just couldn't get there. 2 outs now, and Billy Hamilton going to check swing here, and then we are sending Nick Senzel. The thought process here, guys, was actually trying to get Senzel, who's got some speed, in the scoring position, because we did have the top of the order coming up, and even if he was thrown out, it's probably worth the risk because we do have the top of the order up going in here into the late innings. But strikeout there, so Castillo's still pitching really well, and then a ground ball here to Senzel. I think that was 87 or 97 pitches for Castillo on this game. So this is probably going to be his last inning in the 7th. And now we got Eugenio Suarez up. He's going to send a ringing double out there to the left center field gap. And actually, no, it's not going to be a double. He's going to round second, head for third. He's going to get in there safely. Probably didn't even have to slide. But another leadoff hitter for the Reds, guys, getting in and getting an extra base hit to start an inning off. So it's just been amazing stat here so far. We've had Schebler do the same. We've had Scooter Gennett get to third. It's just been, Joey Votto even had a double, right? It's crazy. So you get another run across the board here after Schebler sends the fly ball out there to center field. Then you got a single here from Adam Duvall. So Reds still pushing hits across, and then fly ball out there to right field. Carlos Gonzalez is going to get this play made. That's Nick Senzel, the batter. And then we got Tucker Barnhart, who's going to send a single right past the diving first baseman. That was Ryan McMahon, I believe. Ian Desmond didn't come until later in this game, which I will talk about in just 1 second. But now we got Luis Castillo up, guys, and like I said, it's going to be the ending of his game here. So he pitched very well for us, but we're looking for runs. So I'm going to go with Jesse Winker here to pinch hit, and he's going to get the job done with a single out there to left to Gerardo Parra, but he's going to throw strong to the cut man, and Duvall, who is rounding third, is going to get thrown out, trying to head back to third. So the inning is squandered, guys. So 14 hits across the board for the Reds. Not too shabby. So Jared Hughes comes on. He gives up the home run to Ian Desmond. And then this ground ball single that went back up the middle to DJ LeMahieu. He's going to come back, though. Going to come back and get a strikeout. And then another out here as Billy Hamilton's going to get on his horse. Oh, man. Just insane. Just insane how he makes those plays look easy, guys. No other center fielder can do it. I'm convinced. Ground ball here to Scooter Gennett. Probably should have had this one, but now we got runners on first and third, so we're going to have to make the best out of this situation. Raisel Iglesias comes on out because, quite frankly, I don't want to mess with any of these Rockies hitters in this ballpark. One swing could change the dynamic of the whole entire game. 6-2 game, and we're headed into the top of the 9th here, and Billy Hamilton is going to get another leadoff extra base hit for the Reds. He's going to fly around second and head into third base. Guys, it's crazy. It's crazy right now. It's just really doing the Reds offense some good here. Once we head back to Cincinnati, I expect the Reds offense to just do work. But this inning is going to get squandered just because that right fielder dove for that baseball, and we couldn't score Billy Hamilton in that inning. So he makes another great play out there in center field. Insane. I'm running out of superlatives to talk about Billy Hamilton, how crazy he's been defensively in this game right now. But strikeout here on the right fielder who made that catch. I do not know his name. I've never heard of this player in my life. But you guys saw Castillo's stat line there at 11 strikeouts, and the run is going to score here off of Iglesias. That's Ian Desmond yet again. So now it's 6-3, and a ground ball here going to end this game if Suarez makes the play, and he does. So the Reds go on the road to Colorado to get the job done, and this game is over. So I'll catch you guys with some scouting. All right, guys, so as promised, going to get into some scouting. Obviously a really good win for the Reds. Adam Duvall really scuffling at the plate, had 2 hits, had that one big home run, 2-run shot. Votto had a 2-run shot, and then, had that single late in the game. So starting to come around a little bit, but I still think that he is the one guy that I think we're probably going to end up moving during trade season. So come June, maybe July, I'm not sure yet. We'll just have to see how things are going. But if I had to trade one guy off the team, I think it would be Adam Duvall. I know he's a fan favorite, but and I know him and Joey Votto are big time buds. But you got to do what you got to do. So But here's the scouting, guys. As we talked about in the last couple episodes, I'm still looking at first base. You guys can see this here, a lot of green here, as opposed to any other position. Third base, not really concerned. Second, yes. So we do have some second basemen we can look at, but this guy here, Nathaniel Williamson from North Carolina. So look at those contact numbers. He's a 70 right now against righties, 60 against lefties. Potential is pretty good. The power is okay. Plate vision, I like that plate vision. Plate discipline, that's good as well. Fielding, it's fielding's whatever, right? I mean, he's not going to be the kind of guy that makes a lot of picks. He's no Eric Hosmer over there. Probably more so a Miguel Cabrera type of defender. It looks that way. He's 6'1" with 197, so he's a little lankier, but as far as skill set, he's probably kind of like Miguel. There's probably other people I could have compared him to, but Miguel's not the strongest first baseman fielding wise, but pretty good player here. 19 years old, 2022 plus is the ETA, but I think he would be a good pick for the Reds. Talked about McGaffick and Marlon Adair in a couple episodes before. This guy, Andres Almanzar, check this numbers out. Power hitter, big time. Average contact, but he's more so a power type of guy. Right-handed hitter, 6'5", 212. So he's a big dude. So I can see that. Maybe he's a bench player. Maybe he's just kind of a platoon guy. I'm not sure. But he seems like he would be not too bad. This guy, Christopher Berland. Look at the plate vision right now, 70 out of 75. The contact numbers are there too. So he might be kind of a diamond in the rough. 6'4", 186. He might actually increase his potential from where they're looking at him at 65. He might get better than that. So he's a guy that I like. This guy here, I always am wary about people that are overall right now 60 and then their potential is 60. So I think that might be something to look out for. I'm not too familiar with how the scouting works with MLB The Show, other than last season's MLB The Show. I know that some guys with potential and overall, when they were matching, sometimes those guys were like diamond in the roughs. So Ricky Sutter, definitely a guy to look out for. Look at the contact right now, 75 and 70, and he's supposed to only be a 60 overall player. That's interesting to me. Plus, look at the steal, 70 of 70. That's interesting as well, guys. So Ricky Sutter is a guy to watch out for. Second base, Daryl Hearn from Puerto Rico. That's definitely not a Puerto Rican name by any stretch of the imagination here, but he seems to be a pretty dang good player here. Second base, look at the arm strength, contact, power, very solid numbers there. Plate vision is almost going to be an 80. Like reaction, like this guy's a good player. He's a left-handed hitter, 6'3", second baseman. It's kind of like a DJ LeMahieu type. He might be pretty good. Carter Wood, I think we looked at him last time. I don't recall, but he's not too bad. Johnny Vincent, he's pretty good too. He's pretty good. The fielding could use some work though. 45, that's going to take a long time to get up. When you're not looking at first baseman or outfielders, I do want to see guys like third base, shortstop, second. I want to see their fielding at least a 60 at the time of full scouting. Like, I don't like the 45s. Like, that's just a project. It takes forever to up your fielding and work on your defense. So there's second base. Third base, not too worried here, but I did look at this guy, Forrest Lewis. Not too bad. Probably a later round pick, maybe 2022 plus. I mean, with that potential, he might go off early, but I'm not too worried about third base or outfield for that matter. Pitching. Who did we look at before? We already looked at Lockhart. I think we looked at Inaba. He looks like he's going to be pretty good. Marco Hernandez, I know that we looked at him. Terrence Tsang, I know we looked at him. Akio Maeda, 75 potential, 80 stamina. He's an 80 out of 80 right now. 80 out of 80 break. Velocity is not so good. Control, not so good either. So he's just more of a movement guy. So he's not going to strike out a lot of guys. Going to walk a few as well, 45 out of 60. So he's a project. He's a project pitcher for sure. Left-handed thrower. But if things click, if everything comes together, he could be a 75 overall pitcher. So not terrible, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to pick him. Castaneda, not too bad. Not too bad. 55 potential velocity though, so he's not a hard thrower, but he's a control guy. 60 potential. Look at the walks per 9, hits per 9. Ks per 9 is okay. Stamina is pretty good. So Castaneda might be pretty good. He might actually be better someday than Maeda, even though they're giving him a 75 and Castaneda 70. He might be better, I would think. But I'm not going to get into who I'm going to scout in this episode. I feel like I need to look at some of these guys a little bit harder. I'll give you an update on who I do look at, just because I don't want to make this episode way too long. But still looking at pitching, looking at maybe some relievers as well, some closers possibly, in case Iglesias might be a guy that we're going to move if he doesn't fit into the long-term plan. Still going to scout first base and maybe even shortstop. Not sure yet, but outfield, I'm not even concerned about outfield. Unless there's just like this power-hitting outfielder that we desperately would need, since our outfield outside of Adam Duvall is not very powerful. I mean, you might consider Scott Schebler a power hitter, but again, like I said in the intro video, like who didn't hit 30 home runs last season? I mean, it was just like 30 home runs is like the new 15 in this day and age with the change in swing planes and pitchers throwing harder and the ball gets out faster. And, there's that theory out there that there's juiced balls. I don't know, guys. It could be true. But, yeah, guys, so that is it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. And if you're new to the channel and you like it and you love it and you want more of it, you know what you got to do. Hit that little red subscribe button or my logo to never miss an update on a new Reds franchise video. So like I said, guys, I will be simulating some more here. I don't know where we're going to end up. I'll have to just play it out and see how we do and go from there. But like I said, I do want to get a lot of this season completed, and then head right into off-season moves and possible trades and who we're going to sell and all that. So we'll go into that in the next few episodes. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.